Hello everybody, sorry for the hair, and I'm looking a little wonky. As you know, I had my second shot Saturday and went was working straight, no break, until yesterday. I had myself fooled that I was feeling pretty good. When you're working, self checkout on the week, essentially on the weekends, you're running on adrenaline. Like, yeah, I've worked this out of my system. I sweated it out. And you get home, you stop moving, and you're like, uh. I was in the middle of two transactions on the self checkout. It's like, I thought I'd finished one and jumped to the next one, but apparently I hadn't finished approving the previous one. Yeah, it's a feeling. It's, I guess, like being drunk without being drunk. And yesterday, um, I was doing the automatic bill pay through Western Union, I think it is, and it took me a couple of tries to read the account number for my budget billing. I read it, I couldn't tell you how many times in the last several years. And I didn't read enough ones, so she stopped. We laughed, and she said, "Yeah, the cashier told me that she had the same problem with the second shot. I guess apparently she'd had COVID before she'd had the shot because she said she felt like she had COVID again. I hadn't had COVID that I know of, except aside from the possibility of last year when my cat and I were passing around a respiratory infection for about a month, back and forth, which may or may not have been. Could have just been both of us being sick old ladies. Probably that's the case. But anyway, I'm muddling through. I did a lot of sleeping yesterday, and all I felt like having yesterday was pizza and margaritas. And today I'm not doing much better. But that's okay. You do what you have to do. The reason we're here is not so you can hear me ramble about how wonky I feel. The reason is, well, due to the fact that I spent too much money on groceries, yes, that is a thing, I wasn't able to order the bat slippers I wanted to get and a couple of other things. But we have the other thing that you guys like to see, which is alcohol. So, we have Xerocole Desert IPA, and I'm not sure what that critter is. It's a smooth, tropical, and oasis. Okay. And again, I'm going to put my reading glasses on again so we can see where this is made. Because I keep forgetting where Four Peaks is made. I know it's fairly close to. Pardon the noise of the neighbors outside. The cat wants fresh air and sunshine, so I'm letting her have it. Tempe, Arizona. So while it's not local, it's fairly close to where I live. Less than a day's drive if I go to Phoenix, which I haven't done yet, by the way. Because I've had too much anxiety over the car. And the fact that what I'd like to do in Phoenix will cost a lot of money. I want to go, like I said, to the oddity shops. I want to go to the goth clubs. I want to party like Voltaire. I'm older than him and he's done more partying than me, but that's okay. I digress. One of these days, hopefully, on my bucket list, getting a house is more important. We'll do that first. So, anyway. Does it smell tropical? I'm smelling the hops. Maybe that's what they're considering tropical. We're pouring it in a margarita glass because desert, cactus. Save that one for my 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Got a nice amber color. It's looking more orange to me, but on this you're going to see a more yellowish golden hue. Small head. And I'm not sure what they mean by tropical. because it's a desert IPA. Deserts are not typically tropical. Gotta love Arizona. It is smooth. I will give it that. I'm not sure where the Oasis comes in. I guess maybe on a hot day, it would be relaxing on a hot day. Let's see what the ABVs are on this. If we can find it. Put the reading glasses back on. Wipe off the fingerprints. Okay. It's an IPA. It's an India Pale Ale. Of course, I said desert IPA, so yeah. 7% ABV. And it doesn't say doesn't indicate how many hops what the hops are. It just says 7 ABV. So 7% by volume. It's a little stronger than some beers. Okay. No clue. So again, I'm not really telling how it's tropical. Unless it's the fact that it's hoppy. Of course, I had a milk stout with my lunch. That doesn't help. Possibly a bit of pineapple, perhaps. Yes, I'm tasting a tiny bit of a pineapple flavor. So the hoppiness with a slight aftertaste of pineapple. But again, I'm really not quite sure how whatever this little guy is and the desert has to do with being tropical. But that's okay. It's apparently a tropical desert. Do I like it? I'm not going to waste it. Let's just put it that way. It's not going to go to waste. I will drink it. Out of all the IPAs I've had, it's not my least favorite, but I'd say it's close. It is slightly fruity, slight taste of pineapple, perhaps. It balanced. It's not bitter. It's not hoppy bitter. It does have a bit of a tang to it. Like I said, kind of the hops kind of taste. It tastes kind of like makes it tastes like pineapple. Not a lot of head, which is good. It's smooth. It is smooth. It's got a bright taste to it. It's not bitter, but I just honestly don't find the taste overwhelming. It's it's okay. It's good. It's not great. It kind of sets out to do what it says it's supposed to do, which is be tropical. But then again, my mind is kind of on the fence about why you would want to make a desert IPA tropical. If you want to be desert, my input on this would be go with a more desert flavor. The Southwest is known for margaritas, and perhaps that's been overdone quite a bit, but you could do something along those lines. I mean, okay, you could put some mango, perhaps mango and lime. Mangoes are well, then again, mangoes are kind of tropical. That would be Mexican. But you can get, you know, tropical fruit. You can buy tropical fruit in the desert, which is maybe where they're trying to go with that. But to that end, you could still, in my mind, make it taste a little bit like a margarita. You have some, besides the faint, possibly pineapple flavored notes in it, you could put a little lime, maybe a little bit of mango. Prickly pear. I had some prickly pear jelly that was really good. Why not go with something like, excuse me, that would be good. There you go. Four Peaks, this is my input. If you ever see this, which you probably won't, try that. If you want to do a desert tasting beer with a fruity flavor, try doing, how about this, a prickly pear margarita. There you go. Try that. A prickly pear, and agave flavor. With some margarita type. Yeah, prickly pear and agave. Make it like that. With maybe just a little bit of lime and some salt. That would be perfect. But I'm not a brewer. I've only ever tried making my own beer once. I did it, a lavender green tea. And it was fun, but all you get out of it is a 6-pack. So it wasn't worth waiting over a month just to get a 6-pack. But I will, at some point, maybe when I'm retired, I'll pull the carboy out again and get a couple of carboys, maybe just make my own beer. I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, to wrap it up, did I like it? It was okay. It was good, but not great. It does have a fruity flavor to it, slightly pineapple-y. But again, the whole tropical desert thing kind of is incongruous. If you're going to be desert, then be desert. Unless you're talking about desert oasis, okay. I will give them that. An oasis is a tropical kind of spot in the middle of the desert. There's the spot where there's water and there's some palm trees. Okay. So I kind of, now that I think about it, I do get it. But they still need to work on, in my mind, the flavor to make it fit, that description a little bit better. Something you might find like I said, maybe like something you could find in an oasis in the desert would be a good idea. Now that I think about it, like I said, more of a margarita kind of thing. Have some agave, some prickly pear, something like that. So it's not bad. I'm not overly impressed. But I'm not going to tell you not to try it. Try it for yourself and see what you think. That's it. That's my review. Wasn't that tropical to me? Slight taste of pineapple. Desert and tropical kind of, like I said, kind of incongruous in my mind. Until, you think about the oasis part, but even then, the slight tang of pineapple doesn't fit with the whole desert oasis theme in my mind. So, that's it. I have other videos that'll be going up before this one. I believe I will put up Red Decadence, Chocolatier Wine, and I have the Wednesday Cat review of the last of the 4 Yoho Brewing Japan beers. I did not do the Tokyo Black Porter. I was not pleased with the way I presented the video. When I'm feeling a little bit better, I will go get more of that and redo that review. So you're not going to see that one. You'll love it when I do the pour. It's a nice dark coffee color. It's really a good beer. And I kind of do a verbal review on it, mentioned through the other beers. So I've got those 2 coming up. We'll have this coming up, and I might visit another one of the beers I've done before. I was in comfort food mode And yes, for me, comfort food goes with beer too. Picked mostly beers that I have had before because I was in the mood for some nice cold beer. And this is one of the ones I got that I hadn't tried yet. And there's one other one I believe in there as well that I hadn't tried. So I'll do a review of that as well. Try to stretch them out to give you things to look at while we're waiting for the beginning of June for the coffin shelf from Etsy. Trying to remember the name of the shop, but it's slipping my mind like a lot of things this week. So that's what's coming up. Alcohol reviews as filler episodes, as it were, because, like I said, I overspent on the groceries and didn't leave enough money to get some of the fun things I was going to order. So, keep it dark, keep it weird. Take turns driving the hearse, reverse masquerade, wash your claws, hit the notification bell to see more in your inbox. If if you're interested in keeping up with the craziness on this channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. And that's it for now. I'll see you at the abode next time. Another day, probably another beer, and then the coffin shelf after that. I love you guys. Bye.